or flip it upside down, put in the other room, turn off your Outlook. I just did that. Be present, be here, be present. It's not a lot of time, but as you can see, doing 1 to 2 extra transactions per month with the kind of numbers you guys are sharing below, that's a huge difference, like a humongous difference, right? Some people aren't even making that in real estate right now. Okay. And so to add that extra on top of what you're doing, this is crucial stuff. And this is one of the things I'll be honest, I explain to a lot of people, and sometimes they're like, I think I get it. And then they don't. And then I can see when the light bulb goes off and like, oh, and they get that look, right? And then when the light bulb goes off, it's like, oh my God, what about this person? What about this person? What about this? And then all of a sudden, like, you get fired up. Okay. So thanks for your undivided attention. And absolutely, I don't want to be the guy that just sits and talks and rambles. Please be interactive. So I want your feedback as far as, numbers, as far as experience. You've done something like this. You've never done something like this. You're running into these leads, but we'll get into it. All right. So thank you so much for that. And I am going to, and I can't really see as I'm going through here, just FYI. So if there's some questions, James and Josh, please jump in, cut me off if there's anything that I'm not seeing. Cool.
Right on. We'll definitely keep that on track. I did figure out the gremlins that were keeping us from live streaming. So we are actually live streaming now across the interwebs. And if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, do us a huge favor, engage, right? Like, or even, touch the heart button, right? Comment as we're asking questions and looking for comments and so forth. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and turn on the notification and share with others, either in your organization or others in our, our little real estate community that might get value from this as well. So figure that out. Now all is good. James and I will definitely moderate the questions and so forth. Let's dig in, and excited to hear what you got to say.
Woohoo! Awesome. All right, I'm going to share, and let's get it rolling. All right. Can you see my screen good?
All good.
Fantastic. All right, guys. So how to close 1 to 2 extra deals per month with rent-to-own buyers. Now, for some of you that are my creative real estate ninjas out there, that are saying, well, what about like owner financing or seller financing, or what about a contract for deed or land contract? Yeah, that counts too. Okay. But for folks who are like, I don't know what you're talking about. I just know that people get pre-approved. They go to my loan officer, they show me the letter, and I get them a house, right? We're going to say rent to own. But anyone who can't get financing right now is who we're talking about. Okay, guys, that's who we're talking about. So I want you to be very clear on why you're spending this time right now during your week, during your day with us. And again, being present, and thank you for that so much. But why are you here, right? So my goals for you, and put your goals down, please type them out. Why are you here, right? You could be doing a million other things. You probably got a lot of this stuff to do, but you chose to be here. So what is your goal? Is it just to make more money with the leads you already have without having to go buy more leads from some other sources? Is it to help more clients and just be a better agent? Is it to increase your value, become a better resource to those in your team and at your brokerage and your sphere? Is to learn just how to do a lot more overall, right? Or spend less money on marketing, okay? All of these are things that the slow flip, that's the process that I've coined on this. That's what it does, okay? So this will help you make more money with leads you already have, with the sources that you're already using, okay? And doing more deals. So right now, again, I want you all to just start typing. How many leads have you had that couldn't qualify for bank financing in the last 90 days? Okay, the last 3 months. Now, if you can think of 5 to 10, put them down. If it's a couple, whatever. Okay, but I know there's numbers, and I know you've had them. Okay, so how many leads have you had that couldn't qualify?
This is crazy, Jesse. We got 5. Shay, at least 50. That's a man that's taken massive action. Lisa, 6. I'm trying to pull them up on our streaming platforms, but that's a lot of opportunity just from Hillary. Don has 3. And Hillary, I know Hillary's average home price is at least 500,000 and up. So definitely a ton of opportunity there.
Huge. Oh my God, that's awesome. Okay. And you know what? And this isn't even part of my normal thinking, but it just is coming to me right now. So guys, the leads you're talking about that couldn't qualify, where did those come from? Okay, right? Because you can't manage your business. You can't manage what you can't measure. Okay, so we have to measure it and then we can manage it. So those leads that you got, what sources are those coming from? Because I can tell you what, you might think those are bad sources because, hey, they're all turn downs, but it's actually a good source. It might be a source you might want to put more money into or time into. Okay. So keep dropping it down. How many leads have you had in the last 90 days? Now, there's a lot of different reasons, guys. People don't qualify right now to get a mortgage these days, and it's not always bad. Okay. Low credit, right? That's number one for most people, but no credit. Maybe newer to the country, maybe just have never established credit. Maybe they've been a cash person their whole life. A new job. Hello. How much change has been going on with COVID in the last couple of years, right? A new business. They haven't had their business for 2 years yet. Maybe their business is crushing it, but they don't have 2 years of tax returns. Okay. We see that a lot. Or they've been doing business for a while. They might even have great credit, but they make, $150 a year, 150,000, and they write off 120 in expenses. So they made 30. They made 30. Well, they're not getting a loan too easy. So that's another source. Or bankruptcy, foreclosure. And a lot of foreclosures and bankruptcies, right? Sometimes are intertwined with maybe a bad divorce, or maybe medical challenges or medical issues, or just unemployment for a while. I did a deal. Actually, I think I've done 2 deals like this in the last 6 months. Where people just missed a couple payments. They literally just missed a couple payments. Everything was great, but they had a 30-day or 30 days, and they're like, nope, come back. Okay, so when you or a lender that you work with, or maybe you're a lender on here, I don't know, or another agent has a traditional, or they have a buyer, sorry, that can't get traditional financing right now, all right? What do you do with them? Think about this. Like right now, those people, and if you just jot it down, hey, I've got 5, I've got 10, I've got 50, which is insane. What are you doing with them, right? Do you putting on like an email drip and you just hope they open them up after time? Do you actually have a reminder like on your calendar to, follow up with them? Did you recommend them to like a credit repair person? What are you doing? Jot it down. What do we got for answers? I'm curious what people are doing with these leads.
Says credit repair, referral, and slow follow-up. Connect them with a credit repair company. KB Core Slow Drip referred them to NACA, which is a special mortgage program. I'm sure, Jesse, I know that you're familiar with that.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a lot of the same stuff. Credit repair, relying on automated follow-up, things of that nature.
Let me go back real quick, guys. Low credit, no credit. It's number 1 and 2. Why is it number 1 and 2? Because that's what people think about. Okay. And that's a lot of answers here. How about new job? How about new business? How about business that's been established for years, but they make too little on paper, but they got money in the bank. Okay. Or bankruptcy or foreclosure. I've done deals for people that are still making 6 figures a year, and he actually had credit scores in the 600s, but they had a bankruptcy on the record, and they were in that black hole, I call it, right? 2 years, 4 years after the discharge date, that black hole where you're not going to get anything, right? So credit's one thing. But the point is, a lot of people take these for granted. And these are folks that are great people. Sometimes just bad things happen to good people, and they need time and they need guidance and they need a plan. But guess what? They're going to go probably rent because they think that's their only option. Whether you spent an hour with them in your office or on the phone or Zoom, or days or weeks showing houses, or God forbid, months, and this all like went and didn't work out, right? You didn't make any money for that. So how do we change that? How do we help them get what they want and help you get what you want? Okay. These are all deals, guys, that you could still be getting paid on in the next 30 to 60 days instead of wasted time, unhappy clients, and no money for you. And think about this. Those people that are turn downs, right? If any one of those turned into a deal, how stinking happy are they when you got them the home that ABC, mortgage and ABC Realty shot them down and said, I can't help. We don't do that. You got them the house right now, right? That they want, not just a house, the house they want. Okay. You're going to get referrals up the wazoo from that because you're the hero and you got to still salvage your commission and be the hero, which is freaking awesome. So, I'll kind of get into my background a little bit, guys, but if you don't know me or anything about me, I was in the mortgage business for 15 years as a mortgage broker and a loan officer. And I've been in the creative real estate world for about 10 years as an investor. So I swapped my loan officer hat a couple years ago after 15 years of doing that. And now I'm a licensed agent with EXP here, and I am an investor. But for me, I kind of spent the last 15 years of my career having one leg in the mortgage business and one leg in the real estate business, which proved to be a very cool thing for me because I could understand both and see these opportunities. So I started learning about, 10 years ago, the world of rent to own, owner financing, lease options, contract for deed, land contract, subject to, all these creative things that most people don't really pay attention to or understand. Okay. So I want you guys to think again right now. You're here, you're in the moment, you're not doing other things. So you got your goals down, and I hope you wrote some down. If you didn't, type them out right now. Don't be scared to share. Put what your goals are down. But there's two things I want you guys to take away from this. Okay. You have these people, as we just saw, right? We have these leads you're coming across right now. You probably have already come across a bunch, and you'll continue to come across these. Okay. So there's a couple different ways that we can help you in your business. Number one is we can work together to help your clients that you normally would have turned away because they can't get financing buy a home right now. You bring us the client, the buyer, you help them pick out the home. And maybe it's a home they already had picked out and it was falling apart, right? Nosediving, and we can come in and save the day. And we'll show you that, how we do it. And we help put the deals together and buy the home for them. Okay. And they're doing this with us in our group and our team through our rent to own and owner financing program. Okay. Now, for some of you go, hey, wait a minute. If I could make an extra 1 to 2 deals a month, doing something that really no one else does and really no one else understands, what if I could do 3 or 4? Or what if I could just make my whole business practically be this, right? Like that's what this guy does. Okay. I do more business than a lot of agents I know. Definitely I'm not the biggest hitter, but a lot of people, I do a lot more, and I'm not even doing regular buyers, right? I'm just doing these one-offs, and there's a lot of one-offs, guys. So if you say, hey, I would love to make this an actual part of my business and really ramp up helping people and have kind of a niche and have something special that not everyone else knows and does, we want to work with you together as well. So we can actually help you carve out a niche for yourself in your market. Okay. And you can make 2 to 3 times what the average agent makes with this unique strategy. We're going to literally help you fill the buckets. Okay. So our world is buckets. We have buckets of tenant buyers, and tenant buyers is someone who wants to get a home. They can't. That's the turn downs you guys are looking at or talking about or writing down, right? And they need to get the houses. Well, guess what? We help them get the houses with our investor network. So we work with investors, with real estate investors, with landlords, with folks who want to make money in real estate. Crazy idea, right? They want to make money in real estate. And maybe they don't know how. Maybe they don't have the time. Maybe they know and they have the time, but they say, hey, wow, your system, holy cow, the ROI and what you're doing and the, just the time for the money is amazing, right? So we can help you with that as well. But we've got this group of investors and tenant buyers. The magic, guys, is putting it all together. Magic is finding it and putting it together. All right. So again, let's get interactive. Drop down in comments, guys. Why did you become a real estate agent? Right? Why did you become an agent? Did you become an agent because you wanted the freedom, maybe to get to your kid's soccer game in the middle of a Tuesday, to travel when you want to, the flexibility in your scheduling, to not have a boss? You're like, hey, I'll work 80 hours, but for this guy, right? Not for someone else. More free time to travel and be able to work and do things, not just stuck in an office or in a cube for someone else. Jot down. Let's see if we have a pattern here. I'm curious. What's like number one? What's the top couple things?
Yeah. So keep them coming. Keep them coming. We have Adele, all of the above. Lisa, flexibility to take care of my disabled mom. Lisa, that is extremely admirable.
Huge.
I'm getting emotional just reading that, honestly. Chad, time freedom and change to change lives, to help people. No boss and the ability to make as much as I'm willing to work for. Amen to that. Sunermal, sort of everything you listed. So a little bit of everything. Dexter, independence. Howard, access to investment properties. Right on, right on. Second generation realtor, flexibility. I can't remember. It has been so long, Jackie says. Well, let's reconnect with that. Let's reconnect with
Yes.
what was the real reason, and go deep on that. No boss, help renters and first time buyers become homeowners. I love that, Kyle. And Kyle is, he is phenomenal at doing that. And Kyle, for you, this model will give you another way to take great care of those people. And then Carol, all of the above. So
Awesome, guys. Fantastic. Well, I think we got a lot right there. And you know what? This is great because whether you're a year in the business, 10 years, or 45 years, I think we all need to reconnect with our why a lot more, right? Especially when things get stressful and we're in the minutia and we're in the weeds. Like, connect with your why. Why do we set out to do this? And are we going down that path that we wanted to? Do we have the freedom? Do we have the flexibility? Do we have, no boss? Do you have that free time? Are you traveling? And if not, why? Right? And there's multiple things that we can always jump in and do to fix that and solve that and grow it and make sure we're going down the path we want to do. Okay. So along those lines, guys, of taking care of people and the freedom and the flexibility, and growing your portfolio or helping other people grow their portfolio or just get their first house. Okay. Imagine what your life would look like right now. And I know this is cheesy, guys, but just follow me on this. Okay. I've done this before as well. Close your eyes for a minute. Just close your eyes for 30 seconds. Okay. And I want you to imagine an extra 10,000 guaranteed. I drop it in your bank account, no matter what, every month. Drop it in the bank on the first, 10 grand every month. What would that look like? What would you do with that? Okay. Keep your eyes closed. Think about what that would do. Would that allow you to maybe be home at 5 or 6 instead of 8 or 9? Would that allow you to pay your kids' college? Would that allow you to take care of that family member that you really want to, but right now you're just not there yet? How about 20 grand every month? Bam, it's in your bank. $20,000. Are you traveling? Are you taking that family vacation? Are you, growing your team so you have a team so you can be gone for 5 days and not check your phone like 90 times a day? Okay, guys, this can help you do that. Okay, open your eyes, write down what would that help you do? Like the first thing that comes to your mind, what would that help you do? For me, I love to travel, right? I love to travel and I love to be with my wife and kids. I like to take my friends and family places if I can. In fact, right now I'm actually planning a trip to New England. I'm going to take my parents. I'm going to take my uncle, take my wife and kids. It's a whole surprise. It's pretty sweet. So we're going to go for like a week and I'm paying for everything. And you know what, guys? I'm paying for it with one deal that is a slow flip deal. I'm paying for it out of an accident that I'm helping solve. Pretty sweet, right? So think about what you're doing now. Okay. After you've jotted down, what would you do with that extra 10 to 20K every single month? How would that change your life? Let's talk about your businesses right now. Do you love driving clients around and showing houses? Now, I know some of you do, right? Some of you like, yeah, I love houses. I love, that's what I got in the game for. Others like, I did, but not anymore, right? Are you working nights? Are you working weekends? Are you a one-person show? Do you have a lot of outgo? Are you paying a lot for marketing and for leads? Do you have a system? Or are you kind of all over the place, right? Let's be real. Most of us probably are. And what are you doing? This is the power question, guys. What are you doing right now in your business to stand out from the other 2 million real estate agents in the US? It's 2 million agents, right? And we all love it when we go and we're at, like a reunion or a party and you're talking real estate. And like, oh yeah, my cousin Sally, well, she's an agent now, just got licensed. So I'm going with Sally, right? Oh, I've only been doing this for 30 years. I know what I'm doing, right? But Sally, cousin Sally, she just got the lead, right? How do you stand out from those other agents? Do you have a niche? So for me, guys, that's part of why when I started learning about how I could help people in these situations and be a problem solver that other people weren't doing, I'm like, you know what? Holy cow. I was just the loan officer and it was, what's your rates? What's your fees? And I was one of many. I was a commodity. But then I started saying, wow, now I've got people kind of saying, well, I don't know what you're doing, but I was told to talk to you. I was almost like a doctor. Like I was referred to you and I guess, can you help? And I'm like, this is pretty cool, right? This is making me feel like not just a commodity, just not another agent, not just another loan officer. So that's why I really wanted to learn something that would separate me from the crowd. Okay. I wanted to make more money. I want to have a position of authority. And I hated the fact that I wasn't able to close all of my leads and help my clients. They didn't get what they wanted. I didn't get what I wanted, and it sucked. So I'm like, how can I figure this out? Josh, what do we have as far as some answers in there? What would people do with that extra 10K to 20K?
So a bunch of investing in real estate, a bunch of people wanting to invest in real estate, spend more time in Florida with family, especially during the winters. I can relate to that. I don't have family in Florida, but I'm sick of central Pennsylvania winters. Secure a future with less worry. Jules, the way that hits me is just peace of mind, less stress. Like, amen to that. Investing in real estate. I'd be golfing all over the country and spending time with my grandbabies. Oh, I like that. Yeah, this is great. This is great. Travel came to mind first, but then it went to purchasing investment properties as well. Love it. Love it. Love it.
I like it, guys. And again, maybe you've never heard of me, seen me, or maybe you know me a little bit or a lot. I love short-term rentals too. And this isn't about short-term rentals, but actually it kind of can be, because it's all connected, guys, right? So I've purchased short-term rental properties that I have to go on vacation to go check on it. That's a write-off with money I've made from deals that weren't going to get done, but I was able to get them done through this process, through the slow flip, right? So again, it's all connected. So when you really say, what the heck do I want? How do I want my life to look? We just can find a way to connect the dots. So I stink and love, and I love where you guys are going out with the investments, because this absolutely is a system to feed you with investment opportunities and a system to feed you with investment properties as well. Okay. So how many people do you guys know this stuff right now? We've asked this before in other lives and other events, and I love to hear the answers right now, guys. If I had to say, who do you know in your company, right? Like in your office, in your local office, just in your sphere, that knows about rent to own, lease options, creative financing. How many people do you know that you could go to, right? Jot it down. 1, 0, 2, 3, 0. Now, if I ask you, how many people know about first-time home buyers? Maybe you're like, oh, I know a whole bunch of people that know about first-time home buyers or jumbo loans, right? Or multi-units, okay? How many people know this stuff? Do we have anything over 2? Anyone responding with more than 2 people or one person that knows this business?
Nope.
No?
Very few. Myself, I am 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Yeah, that just screams opportunity.
Guys, I mean, if you said 10, I'd be like, okay, great, right? If you said 5, okay, let's go. 0, 1, 0, me, right? So guys, this is an opportunity, okay, to go to be from a commodity to an authority. What if you could be the go-to in your company or in your market, right? What if you could say, hey, we have another 100 agents at a brokerage, or 500 or 25. I got this, guys. I'm the expert on this stuff. When you have someone who can't buy, bring them to me. I'll take care of you. I'll take care of them. Okay. I mean, that just screamed that out right there. And guys, it's a lot simpler than you think. It really is. It's a spreadsheet. It's doing some math. The spreadsheet does all the work. So we do have a program. We have a great program of students and partners around the country. And we call this the magic spreadsheet because it spits out money. And so you just type in what we're buying it at. We type in what we're selling it at. We type in how much we want to make for our profit. We put together an awesome deal for an investor and how much they're going to make. And it's a win-win-win terms for everybody. Okay. So when you work with us, you get this. Now, if you just have leads and you say, hey, I've got a lead, we do all this. But if you want to learn how to do this and double or triple your income, we can help with that too. Okay. But sometimes I always laugh at the guys that have to flash checks. I'm like, really, you got to be that guy flashing checks. But I do want to show you guys that I do this stuff. I do this every month, multiple times a month. Okay. And these are all from deals that would not have closed. Okay. This isn't like a normal deal If you got your regular business, whatever you're doing, fantastic. This is something you can add on top of it, okay? Or just do it. Anyone read the book Blue Ocean Strategy? If anyone's read it, please drop a comment below. Or if you got it and you haven't read it yet, maybe it's on the shelf and I'm gonna blow it off a little bit. Blue Ocean.
Mine is definitely back behind me. Mostly knows. Love it. I think that was to another question. Mostly knows.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't write it, and I'm not pitching it. And I get nothing from this. It's just a great book. But I read this book and really got the rundown. And right now, guys, we're in this crazy place in the world with the market and timing. Right. It's not like there's a couple of real estate companies out there and a couple of food companies. I mean, competition is freaking nuts. And so what you can do is you can try to be in the ocean of all the other fish and sharks, and it's bloody. It's bloody because everyone's eating each other up. And you're either the biggest, the best, the cheapest, the fastest, right? You're a Rolls Royce or you're a Ford, right? Or you can try to be in there and stick out, or you can just swim on over to where there's no blood in the water, where the ocean is blue, because it's freaking huge. The ocean's huge, and just go get your own little patch and do your own thing. And you can create your own market, create your own markets. You can connect those markets. You can do your own thing versus having to be the biggest or the best or the cheapest, right? And so that's kind of what the Blue Ocean Strategy is all about. That's what we're doing, guys. I don't want to go be one of 90,000 listing agents or 90,000 buyers agents, okay? And so we can help you with that. Again, whether you want to do it here and there when the opportunity, falls in your lap, because it will, and it does, or if you want to do it on a full-time basis. Now, where your leads coming from right now? I, again, love your feedback on this. Please jump in, be interactive, drop your phone, unless you're on your phone, okay? And where are you getting most of your leads right now? Are you getting them from your brokerage? Are you doing Zillow leads, Realtor.com leads, Facebook leads? And Facebook, guys, again, right? You can't manage what you can't measure. So if it's Facebook, where are Facebook? Paid ads? Just your site, your business site, groups, okay? Where exactly is it coming from? So you can duplicate it if it's working, and don't do it.
A lot of SOI, door knocking, past clients, personal referrals, lead providers, street text leads. Shay, I'm killing it with street text as well. Past clients and referrals, Facebook Marketplace and Facebook paid ads. Hacking other listings. I like that. Facebook ads, Facebook from organic leads, right on. SOI and Realtor.com, referrals, SOI. Yeah, so a little bit of everything, but a lot, very heavy on SOI and referrals.
Gotcha. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to give you good news, and I'm going to give you good news. If you're not doing SOI and you're not doing referrals and you're doing anything that's paid, maybe I can help you save some money. Maybe I can help you not have to spend so much in marketing on that stuff. Okay, that's good news number one. Good news number two, if you're already getting a lot of referrals and you're really working your sphere well, right? You're being the go-to, which is what you should be, even better, because now you have people that like you and trust you and know you're going to take care of them and their people. And you have another tool in the tool belt to help them either get investment properties through this program, right? Or help their clients get into a home when other people can't do it. Okay. So it's going to help either way. Now for me, a lot of our lead sources are referrals as well. Okay. So very, very warm. And it's actually now gotten to the point where it's fantastic. It wasn't this way right away, but it can go quick, where a lot of our leads, I get a text, I get a Facebook message, Instagram message, it's a warm on a silver platter referral. Okay. One of the people that we work with, guys, is we work with investors. Okay. So again, part of what we do is working with investors. If you want to learn more about the inner workings of how you can do this as a full system, not just, hey guys, I've got a buyer who can't get a loan. That's great. But if you want to learn more about how to do this, you could have 2 or 3 investors that that could be, qualified to get 2 or 3 properties that year. Okay. That's 6 to 9 deals from a couple people, from one conversation with each of them, from, a 60-minute conversation with each could turn into 6 to 9 deals. That's fantastic. Okay. Why would you want to get 2 deals when you could get 6 to 9? So we work a lot with other agents. We work a lot with loan officers. We work a lot with rehabbers and existing landlords. So who's going after that source right now? I'd be willing to bet not a lot of people, but if you are, drop it. I would love to know if you are and where you're doing it and how it's going. Okay. But we're going after those folks. We're going after new landlords, people that want to get in the business, but they're just not there yet. But one of the biggest things, guys, that I think is important to know, we don't find deals, we create the deals. This is basically doing a win-win-win and creating the deal, creating the solution that helps everybody get what they want and everybody wins, everybody makes money. All right. So a lot of our leads, again, like I said, just get simply texted to me or DM to me. And I don't really chase a lot of leads, but what I chase is lead sources. And this is something I drill on our students and our partners around the country all the time. I don't want you chasing a lead, chase a lead source, chase someone that you're going to build a relationship with that's going to think of you on a weekly or monthly basis and is going to give you leads consistently, right? On a platter. Okay. So get around other people that are the sources of these types of leads. Get around other people that want to invest in real estate. Get around other people that, are going to give you their warm referrals. All right. Here's a couple examples of an email I got, a text. Heck, some of you might even be on here. I don't know. But I love it. I'll wake up and it'll be a Monday or Tuesday and all of a sudden, oh, there we go. There's 10 grand or 12 grand or 15 grand that just fell into my pocket. And it's an opportunity to help somebody where, again, the buyer thought they weren't going to get a house. The agent thought they weren't going to get a sale anymore. We can make it happen. All right. The other great thing, guys, is we can help you look like a hero. Okay, so even if you did this and made no money, right? How many would still do this because you're helping your clients, you're helping your community, you're helping your family, you're helping your friends, you're helping somebody, right? Hopefully, you'd still say, of course I would, right? And if you're like, no, I wouldn't, I got to get paid. Okay, fine. Don't worry, you're going to get paid still anyways. But you're helping other people get what they want and you get to help them look like a rock star, okay? This is Eric, by the way, guys. Eric is an agent. Eric is a newer agent, hasn't been in the business for 2 years yet. And he said, hey, man, you know what? I've been hearing more and more about you. Again, word of mouth, right? And social media. I've been hearing more and more about you and what you're doing. I'm renting right now and I want to buy a house, but I can't qualify because I haven't been an agent for 2 years yet. Do you think what you would do would work for me? And even more so, I would love to get a multi-unit. Do you guys do that or probably just single family? And I'm like, oh no, we'll do multi-units. We'll do multifamily. So he's like, really? Well, guess what? So Eric went from renting and then, would have gone to any other bank and been told no, come back and see us in a couple of years. He went from renting, bypassed owning to now an investor because he's in a duplex, basically rent free. And now he has an asset. And then he's going to get out of that one as soon as he can refinance and get into a new one, which freaking lights me up. Okay. So not only is he just going from renting to, oh, I have to be stuck renting to now, wait a minute, I get to get a multi-unit when I can't even get a regular loan? Yeah, we can make that happen.
And I brought the investor for that one. So we did a JV deal with our group.
Absolutely. So yeah, and that's, and I'm glad you brought that up, man, because that's the power of the group. That's the power of the network, right? So I make the joke all the time and we just connect the dots, but whenever we connect the dots, we're getting paid and we're helping people. So I said, hey, I've got this tenant buyer. This is what he's looking for. And, I've got investors ready to roll, but who else has investors? James said, hey, I've got one right now. And they heard what the slow flip program is and they want a property and they want to go. And we said, okay, great. And then here's the numbers. I'm on board. Boom. And happen. And so that was, again, a deal that James got as a coaching student that helped pay for his investment and maybe paid for the whole thing. And then it's more and more stuff that comes from it. Okay. And it happened because of the group, the power of the group. But again, guys, if you like to travel, drop down travel. Give me some hearts. Give us some likes if you love to travel, because I stinking love to travel. Where were you last? I just get excited. Like I want to go close 3 more deals when I hear I want to golf all over the country. Whoever said that earlier, right? Where were you last, or where do you want to go? Where are you going next? Okay. I don't know about you, but nothing lights me up like a vacation and think, especially like, hey, I'm doing this probably, I don't know, $8,000 trip for my family. I got to go knock out another deal. But guess what? I get to do that and I get to wake up and make it happen. and then go take care of my family. And it's pretty cool. I'm taking them some places they've never been. But you can do this anywhere. So that's one of the things I love, guys. You can do this anywhere. I've literally closed deals from a mastermind event that I was at, and I had an extra half a day in LA, and I put together a spreadsheet, made some calls, knocked out a deal. I was in Fort Myers on vacation, looking at properties, put together a deal. You can do this anywhere, especially when you have the team and people in place. You don't have to go do everything. Okay. And that's another thing we can help you with, is you're not the one doing everything. All right. I see some things coming in.
Yep. We got
places. Go.
Jacksonville, Switzerland, Maui, then Malaysia, Jamaica, Cancun, Las Vegas.
Oh, yes.
Monterey, Washington, LA. Yeah.
Okay. Those are some goodies. Those are some goodies right there. Those are places people just came from, or they're going to
want to go to mainly, I guess. Yep. In the future.
Okay.
But some are Jamaica in 2 weeks, Cancun in September. Adele's going to Bahamas in September for a couple of months. I love it.
Okay. So here's the thing, guys. I'm throwing the gauntlet out at you. I'm throwing the challenge. When you're on vacation, I know you're on vacation. I get it, right? But let's be real. We vacation a lot more, but we're always working. That's kind of how it is, right? But you get to do it. You don't have to, you get to. So you gotta switch that mindset, right? You get to do this. So those of you who are going on vacation in a couple of weeks or in the next month or so, I want you to think of, start putting on a list of your turn downs, whether it's the ones you already thought about and you're right at the beginning of this, or if you haven't yet, write down turn downs and every single person you can think of in your own experience for the last few months. And if you don't have anybody, which I think is probably nuts, but if you don't, great. Go to some of your loan officers, ask for their turn downs. Okay. Go to some of your colleagues, ask for their turn downs. Who could you not help in the last 90 days that wants a home? And if they don't want to do it, they don't know how to do it, they're not here, you are here, great, you go get it. Okay. And then I'll get you the magic spreadsheet by the time you're on your trip, and you can be sitting there with a tropical drink, and we'll do a little math in the spreadsheet, and we'll put together a deal that will pay for your vacation. How sweet would that be? Free trip. Hashtag paid vacations. Okay. Because all you need to do this, guys, is you need a mobile phone, a laptop, and the magic spreadsheet. That's it. It's all you need to do this business. All right. Now, you might say, okay, well, what kind of leads are we looking for? Okay. And that's going to be a whole nother conversation we can go into. But ideally, guys, we want to see between 5 and 10% down at a minimum. 10% is great. 10% down or more that they can put down. Okay. They have to have a good story. We don't have a minimum credit score we typically work with, right? But it's a good story. We want to know, okay, why are you in that spot you're in? And are things getting better? Are we going uphill, or are you still going downhill? Okay. And is there an exit strategy and a plan? That's huge. Okay. That's the mortgage broker in me of 15 years. What's the plan to go from a no to a yes? Okay. Now, when people don't have 10% down, then, maybe they only have 2 to 3 months worth of rent. We have some options for them as well through other nationwide partners that we work with. Okay. So, HPA, Divvy, maybe some of you have heard of them. Maybe some of you even worked with them. Maybe you've tried, but it didn't go very well, or maybe you have no idea what I'm talking about. My point is, I want you to know there's options. So we actually have kind of a few different tiers of ways we can help people depending on the money they have down, credit, and their scenario and their situation. Okay. So we can get into that more later as well. But at the beginning of this, guys, remember we talked a little bit about why you got in this business, right? Freedom, no boss, time with family, kids, friends, travel, get an investment property, right? Be able to get properties that cash flow so you can go on trips and play with your kids and have that like dream life that you think is out there and doable. And it is, but you gotta have the plan. So having consistent and unique leads coming to you for free from the same sources monthly that hardly anyone else in your market even knows what to do with can allow you to do that. Okay. That is what the slow flip is, can help you do that. So we want to help you do more deals and help more people. We want you to make more money by mixing and matching buyers and investors. We want to help you because you know what? We have buyers right now that want homes, and there's always a need for more capital, and there's always a need for more buyers. Okay. We also have investors. We have money and we are looking for deals. Okay. So again, we're just mixing and matching. more people we can mix and match together with, the more it benefits everybody. And there's always a need for both. Okay. So any questions that I need to jump into real quick? How are we doing on time, guys?
Yeah, we've got, you mentioned Los Angeles. Does it work in super hot markets where there's 20 buyers and some are cash deals? Why would seller pick the creative solution?
Love it. I'm glad you asked that. I would call that a 3-part question, actually, right? Number one, why would the seller pick that? Here's the first thing. Again, you got to wrap your brain around it. Remember, a lot of people go, I got it, but you don't have it. And then when it clicks, it clicks. The seller is selling their house to a normal buyer who's paying them off. They're paid off today. The seller is not agreeing to do a lease option or rent to own owner financing. The seller is getting a normal deal. They get paid off and they're on their merry way with their cash. Okay. So who buys the house? We do, or our investors that we work with, that we partner with, that we find, they buy the house. Okay. So it's a normal sale. It's a normal transaction to the seller. So there's no reason a seller would ever say no. All they know is they're selling their house. Okay. So that's first part. Second part, super hot market. Yeah. We're doing deals every month. So it still works for us. In fact, I closed a deal a couple months ago with someone who could get a loan. And like, so you might say, well, Jesse, why the heck would they go use your program, which is probably a little bit more expensive, if they could have just, qualified and gotten the house on their own? Well, they were only qualified with FHA and they were losing like every single deal because it was FHA. Now, here's the thing. They'll qualify for conventional in probably a year, but they're in between FHA and conventional. So they'll qualify for a bigger, nicer home in a year, but they want it now. Well, guess what? We went in and we got them what they wanted now, and they were able to get it through our program, even though they could still technically get a mortgage and qualify. So it's still working in a hot market. We buy in cash sometimes. And if we finance it, we're financing with really good terms. So even if somebody sees our offer versus someone else's offer, our offer is almost always better anyways. So I would call that the second part of your question. The third part of your question, you say like LA. Now that's the only little thing sometimes we got to look at the numbers, right? So, I mean, is someone going to go buy a single family home in LA right now and then sell it and then rent it and make money in cash flow? If the answer is yes, of course, it works anywhere. If that's tougher, LA's kind of tough, right? New York's kind of tough. Then it might be a little bit more challenging, but it still just comes down to the numbers. So you got to really run the numbers. And again, we can help you with that all day. We'd love to, talk numbers and go through that with you. But I do have a lot of people, guys, who are in those markets saying, okay, well, this might not make sense in Laguna Beach, California, but what if I were to go be an investor and buy places in Kansas, in Oklahoma, in Illinois, in Ohio? And we're like, hell yeah, it absolutely works that way. Okay. So again, that's the power, guys, of knowing this, seeing the opportunity and putting it together, which segue, not really intended, but we have a coaching program. So I know I can't do all this on my own. I don't want to. It's way more fun seeing other people learn this, get this, grow their business, have that life and that lifestyle that they want and they deserve, and showing them this is one of the ways they can get there. I love that. It lights me up. And we can all do a lot more together. So we have a program and we have students all over the country. And you can see James Brown, James Brown.
Wearing the same exact shirt as in the picture. One of my favorites.
Obviously planned. And his partner, Toby, with checks in hand from doing deals. Okay. So if you're like, hey, you know what? I've got people who can't qualify, or I've got people who want to invest in real estate. I kind of get what you're saying, Jesse, but holy cow, it's all over the place. What do I do with this stuff? Let's do it together. Okay. We have a program. We can help you do it together. And on a consistent basis with all these opportunities, so you can start crushing it yourself. Just simply knowing and paying attention to the opportunities in the system can add, a few hundreds of thousands of dollars, or thousands, if not even hundreds of thousands, right? If you look at the course of a year or so doing this. The average agent income, guys, this is nuts, $49,700 in 2019. 50 grand is the average average. Now I know we probably have people here who are, crushing it, quadruple that. Some are, hey, I'm right there. Some are like, hey, I'm not there yet, but I want to be there, right? This could help you get there. This could help you do that in a year. This could help you do that in a few months by knowing this and how to do this. Okay. And even if you say, I don't want to be the one necessarily doing this, I got my thing, I love what I'm doing, which is probably not you because you're on here for a reason. But if you want someone on your team to do this, someone in your office to do this, right? You might be like, hey, God, this would be really good for so-and-so. He or she could do all of this and we could funnel stuff to them. And I'd like to market it and pitch it. Or guys, okay, you with me still? What if you want to be an investor yourself? Okay. Because everyone that runs through the slow flip needs a home. Someone has to buy that home. And it's an awesome, awesome way to be an investor. So I have purchased homes this year with only 10 grand down, 5 grand down. I actually got paid to buy a house. I came in with zero, no money down, and then cash flowing every month on a piece of real estate that I didn't have to come up with money for the full down and everything. It was pretty awesome. Okay. So if you find yourself guys saying, wow, this is pretty sweet. I can see where this is different. This is unique. And obviously no one else is doing this because no one knows anyone else doing it. And no one's doing this themselves probably. And you want to be the go-to in your market. You want to start helping more people with this method. And you're serious about implementing this and taking every single person that's jotting, or you're running through your mind and your brain. Maybe you've got them down, jotted down on paper, and you're thinking about that. We want to talk with you more. Okay. So we're looking for more strategic partners and students to help set up their business all over the country and other markets. Get the slow flip business going in your area and crush it and do more stuff together. Okay. So if you want to talk about a lead you have, even if it's just a lead or leads, and you're like, you know what, I love this. I want to get these people a home and I want to get paid. Great. Go here. But if you want to talk about how to do this as a business and make an extra 10, 20, 30K a month doing this, then I really need you to do this. Okay. So go to workwithjesse.net, workwithjesse.net. You'll see some of the details of the program. And again, regardless of what you want to, if you just want to talk, I'm not selling you anything. I just want to talk. I want to help you close deals. I want to help you with clients you have right now. You probably have people immediately that you're thinking about. But if you want to talk about how to make this a business and a revenue stream and be the go-to and get your own blue ocean, definitely go there. Okay. So workwithjesse.net, and we'll just set up a call. We'll do a Zoom or a phone call. We'll talk about your business, what's working, what's not working, and however that I can help and together we can help. We might have people right now that are the answers to your problems. So with that, guys, what questions do you have? Because usually all the info, it's like,
yeah. Listen, there's tons of great questions and thoughts and interaction. If you are watching this on one of the live stream platforms, do me a huge favor and put in the comments workwithjesse.net for those who are interested in getting more information, sharing some of your information. There's a little application process and then getting on a call with Jesse. And as Jesse mentioned, there are any number of reasons why you would potentially like to get on a call with him, right? It's not just that you might be interested in the coaching program. You might have a potential deal and you want some help, or you have, maybe you or someone you know might want to be an investor in one of these transactions, right? And kind of become part of the investor marketplace that Jesse and his students have kind of informally created. There are any number of reasons why. You're just curious, right? You just want to kind of kick the tires a little bit. Just
you might be the tenant buyer. You might want to get your own place, right?
Yeah, right on. Exactly. Awesome. So Dexter asked, do I have to bring you the home the buyer wants to buy?
Do you have to? No, you don't have to. You don't have to. So what I do is, and the way I teach this, we let the buyers choose the home they want. But if you have a home already that you would like them to ideally purchase or do a rent to own or owner financing with you in that home, we can definitely make that work too. Yep. So it works for existing properties, but again, the big spin, guys, that I've done on my business versus what a lot of people might be teaching out there or do is they try to go find houses and then they try to move those houses to people. I go find people and let them get the house they want, which I tell you has been a lot easier and more lucrative. And I don't hit my head against the wall as much as I used to, but you can do both ways. You can do house first, then buyer, or buyer first, then house.
Lisa, where would we just send leads to start with? Lisa, go to workwithjesse.net, fill out the information, chat with Jesse, and figure that out. There's not, you can't just like start sending leads, right?
Yeah.
We kind of have to vet, get you more information, and see, present you with different options of how that might look and what might work. So would we still be their agent? I don't have the cash flow for coaching yet.
Okay. Well, number one, did you say what the cash flow is for the coaching? Okay. So we have a lot of different options there.
Yep. Yep.
So don't even let something that wasn't even presented be a hindrance. We can probably make something work. But as far as being their agent, yes. So you get to still be the agent. You're still getting commission. You're still getting paid. We typically will represent our investors buying the property, but again, depending on, so that's why there's a lot of variables here, guys, right? So, that's why we want just the workwithjesse.net. Just you're putting contact info, right? Where you are, your market, because you might be in a market where you already have somebody. We might have houses in that market. We might have investors in that market right now looking for deals in that market. We might have, so we're just mixing and matching. But yeah, you definitely get to be still.
Yep. Great question here. Do you pre-approve the buyer so they know what they qualify for, like what price range they're looking for and looking at?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great question. So what we do is we call it the pre-pre. So the pre-approval, we know there's, something stopping them from getting approved. We still look at everything else. We're looking at last couple years taxes, W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements, credit report. We actually have a great system. We could do a couple proprietary reports. And so we're making sure that they can afford it both now and in the future. And what needs to change from today till tomorrow, right? And maybe that's a year, maybe that's 2, maybe that's 3. Everybody's different.
Graylin, who is part of our wonderful EXP organization, asked, do you close these through EXP?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, just regular closing. So
yep.
Again, there's a couple different ways we can do it, but yep.
I don't know what this is. Is this something similar to Ribbon Cash? I don't know what that is.
Texas, I believe. I'm trying to remember what exactly it is.
Lisa, if you can provide some context, maybe we can answer, but we're not certain. We're not certain. Don't want to give false information. Yeah. Somebody asked, why would I use your company or this process instead of going to a hard money lender or asking my group of investors?
Well, hard money lenders don't buy stuff off the MLS, number one. So if you got somebody that's going to go do that, let me know. Number 2, if you can do exactly what we're doing and you are doing it, you should do it. But what I find is most time folks don't know how quite to put it all together, the steps, the system, the flow. And the beautiful thing is, like, our investors, once they get this, they get it, they love it, and they want more. Okay. So it's a nice, easy process. And we just say, hey, here's the numbers, here's the house, boom, boom, boom. And we go. But if you're already doing it now, I'd love to hear from you and how you're doing it. If you're doing something similar, different. But again, this guy this isn't necessarily something that is, doesn't have to be like a rehab home. This is like, if any of you have a client that wants a house and all of a sudden your pre-approval just fell apart because they missed a payment or they had a new credit pull or the underwriter didn't see something, like that crap happens all the time. I have one right now, $650,000 house. It's going to close here in about 10 days. They were pre-approved, pre-approval fell apart. Guess what? That agent, all the commission she was going to make just went out the window. But then someone said, hey, you should talk to Jesse. He might be able to help. We talked. I looked at the numbers. I looked at the situation, and now the deal's back on. So.
Yep. Somebody asked, is there going to be a recording? Yes, we did record this. It's also live streaming. So as soon as we're done, you can find it on various live stream platforms, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. But we will do our best to send the full recording, because if you were on at the beginning, we were having some technical difficulties with the live, but the recording I did get sooner than that. We'll get it uploaded once it's rendered and so forth. And I will send that out to all attendees as soon as that is ready to go. So Ribbon Cash is interesting. I would say that maybe there are some similarities, but it seems like our solution Jesse's way of doing the slow flip is, from the description that I'm seeing of what it is, it seems like the pool that it would work for would be really, really, really small. The slow flip there are more opportunities, a larger pool of opportunity with it. It's just, again, I'm only going on what in the comments is being noted as what that is and how it works.
I think Ribbon Cash is probably like Knock, where they pay cash for the property, so it's not a contingent loan, but they still have to qualify for long-term financing. So if that's the same thing you're talking about with Ribbon Cash, that doesn't work. Yeah. They can't get a loan, and Ribbon's not going to float them for a year, 2, 3 years like we do, where we give them plenty of time. So
right,
yeah. One thing to point out to you guys is this isn't like you got to do the slow flip or nothing else. I mean, James, what did I even say in our call yesterday, in our weekly group coaching call? Right. I don't care if you're doing other types of investments and the slow flip helps you do it, or this is just an option. There's other programs out there that are similar, different. They all have their nuances. There's going to be times when ours looks better and is better. There's going to be times when ours doesn't, right? And I think the key is, number one, if you're not paying attention to these opportunities that are probably in front of you daily, weekly, a lot more than you think they are, by paying attention to that and then knowing, hey, I could go here, I could go here, I could go here, and any one of them is going to help and I get paid, right? Just knowing that is great. And so, whatever resources you have, it's just good to know them, be a product expert in each thing. And then also, I think it's really great having a group and a team to go after and say, hey, should they do this or this one? Why? Well, let's look at it. Let's talk about that. So
Dexter asked, how does the commission work of a buyer's agent from another brokerage? The easy answer, Dexter, is there's lots of different ways that this can look. And all you're trying to do is find the solution for the situation, right? And they're like, it doesn't have to, it's not a cookie cutter thing every time, right? There's a framework to it, but there's lots of different ways you can slice it. You may, and Jesse, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe you go to other people in your office and ask those agents for a turn down, and you help put the deal together, and you just get a referral fee out of the commission that's in there. Like, it doesn't even have to be, you don't even have to be representing anyone in it. You can just be the linchpin in the situation, right? And earn a referral fee just by being the problem solver.
Yeah, totally. Think if you talk to a couple other, coworkers, colleagues, again, in your office, in your team, in your market, whatever, and between you and 4 people, you go, let's go have happy hour, go have lunch, have coffee, come up with 10 turn downs. Okay. And those 10 turn downs that you're just brainstorming with, this is like a half an hour meeting with friends, and it's fun, right? Just brainstorm, jot it down. Within that, someone's like, I want to do this. I'm all over this. All right, cool. Now maybe you have a partner. Maybe like, okay, whatever. You just take this person's name. You can call them. And if you get something, give me 30, 20%. Great. Well, now you get the full deal. So there are multiple ways. It's not like it's, 20 versions of this, but it does. The framework is overall the same, but there are different ways to do this. Okay. Sometimes you might get a full commission, and especially if you're doing this as like the program where you're putting the deals together, not just, I got one in my lap, like, here we go, but I'm actively looking for people. I'm actively putting things together. You get commission and you get paid from the investors. Okay. So you're getting 2 lumps of money. So you might get 8 or 10 grand over here, and then another 7 or 12,000 over here. These can be very profitable deals. Okay. So worst case is you're saving the commission that you were about to lose. Best case is you're getting that plus money on top of it by being a deal creator.
Right on. I think, James, I don't know if I'm missing any big ones here. Let me also say that James, Jesse, and I, we have a plan to take all of the most common questions, and we'll either do it as a live session or we'll record just answering questions. And we'll probably do it live because it'll probably lead to more questions, and then we'll document that for everyone. But here's what I can tell you from doing this stuff for a long time. for hosting things like this, and being in your position. I've been on, I mean, countless webinars over the years, like literally invested hundreds, if not thousands of hours on training sessions like this. If this is resonating with you, if you feel like in your gut, if you have an intuition that this makes sense for you and it fits your, why you're in this business, to help and to serve, there's no reason not to at least go to work with Jesse.net and have a call, right? There's no, in case you haven't figured it out, none of us here, we're not hardcore, high pressure. There's none of that here. This is, does this make sense? Can we help and serve? Does it, can we work together? And Jesse, if you can't tell, like, he likes to have fun, right? So, he wants to work with people that it's fun to work with, right? So it costs you nothing but some time to go to that application, fill out some information and have a chat. If there's a way to work together, to partner together, great. And if not, if nothing else, you'll be better educated and at least be aware of other solutions that you can provide in your marketplace. The other thing that really jumped out for me, and Jesse hit this a couple of times, but there was a couple of ways that were cliches, quotes, etc. The riches are in the niches, right? The riches are in the niches. If you're like every other agent in your marketplace, and I realize you're not, because we're all unique and different, but the reality is, in the consumer's eyes, in the majority of the consumer's eyes, we're all the same. When you have a niche that you can serve and you can provide real additional value in a transaction, that is how you become highly paid at what you do. And there's that Zig Ziglar quote that you can have anything you want in the world if you help enough other people get what they want. Right? Mm-hmm. What better way to do this? To do that in your marketplace is to have a true solution for just about anybody, that you come across and have a conversation with, who are interested in or about real estate. Howard, question about investors. Over the years, many people have been looking for California investors in property or cash, and they go somewhere else in the country, they never get paid. How do we get paid if our buyers or investors leave the state? In other words, let's say Howard has an investor that loves this idea, this concept, mm-hmm. But it's not going to work in, buying like you said, $1.25 million property in California, but it may work with somebody, your James or one of your other students has a transaction or an opportunity in Oklahoma or in wherever. How would Howard be compensated for bringing, or presenting that opportunity to his investor client?
Yep, absolutely. So great question. Couple things I want to hit on that, because number one, he who has the gold makes the rules is kind of a sentence I heard before, right? So if you, and I say the gold in this case is the lead, right? Because we're all in it together. That's a cool thing. We're all in this together. So if you provide a lead, that lead is going to help a transaction happen, right? So if I didn't have your lead, what I wouldn't have had without you, the deal wouldn't have happened, right? So that's how we all get paid. So it's as simple as a referral fee, right? It's as simple as a referral fee. Right off the bat, we say, this is what you get. We usually keep a smidge. You get the majority of it. Sometimes you get all of it. Again, there's multiple ways to slice and dice this. It depends on the state, the market, the house, the listing. Depends on. I've seen 5-6 variations of doing this, but yes, it just be a referral fee and right up front. So it's not like, hey, here's somebody and I hope it works out. Tell me how it goes. Like, no. We're gonna have a conversation. You tell me exactly what's going on, and I'd say, yep, here's how I think we can get this done. And then you still get paid. So sometimes we have agents that, and actually I've had a lot of people tell me like, hey, you know what? Can I just give it to you and just send me the check? So we sometimes have other people in our group doing more of the work, right? We're showing the houses, we're writing the PAs. You just get a check. You don't do any of it. So sometimes it actually works out better to just refer it and then have nothing else to do with it. So there's multiple ways we can do it, but Phil, long answer short, that's what it is. Okay. It's a referral fee. And we talk about it right off the bat. One thing too, is I saw in here with Ribbon, someone said that they go up to 6 months. Okay. Well, guess what? If we go back to the beginning of the list of all the turndowns, ain't nobody fixing none of that in 6 months. Okay. Hardly anybody's fixing that in 12 months. Again, I've been doing this for 10 years, guys. 1 year is usually the minimum anyone needs to fix their situation. Oftentimes it's 2 years. Many times it's 3 years, right? You had a bankruptcy. That's a 24-month wait. That's it. Foreclosure, 36-month wait. And that's it. Self-employed might be another year to 2. And then you might screw up your taxes because you didn't listen. So now you need 3. So yeah, if that's a tiny part of the market, if anybody just can fix whatever is their problem in 6 months. But again, maybe it's a better deal. And that's part of just having a good team to bounce these ideas off of and say, hey, maybe this one's better this time for this person for this exact situation, but for someone else, it's totally different.
Yeah. And Howard, back to Howard, one thing I would say too, specifically for you, Howard, like Jesse's a part of our EXP organization, and not that like it's an extra level of protection of that referral type agreement, given that we're all under the same umbrella. And I know that doesn't apply to everyone here per se, but that's, that's another way, sort of layer of protection. James, I think you were trying to say something.
I was going to say, like with a Ribbon, they're going to have to be qualified up front, not 6 months from now. So
yeah. Different solution, right? Different solution, smaller pool, fewer opportunities is the reality.
One other thing I was going to say too, as far as the, if someone wanted a place like in Southern California, right? Another part, right? It's guys, if you don't know this phrase, write this down: relationship capital. Okay. Relationship capital. That is truly the new capital. Because I know, like right now, if something happened to me and I lost every single penny and I was homeless tomorrow, my relationship capital could get me back going ASAP because of who I know and that I take care of them. They take care of me, right? It's not superficial, it's real, but it's that kind of stuff. So I work with a lot of other investors and people in this business, other, gurus and mentors and coaches. In fact, I'm flying down to Florida next week to go speak with John Jackson. He's kind of known as like the Texas guy, and at his event. So another solution just off the top of my head, because I just love problem solving, I would go into my network and I would say, hey, who's got properties right now in that area? Because maybe we're not going to go buy one because the math just doesn't make sense. It doesn't work out. But maybe we have properties that they could go to. I've got a vast network of rehabbers and wholesalers. Maybe they've got something. Maybe I've got an investor that's happy to buy this house because it's 70 cents on the dollar, right? So again, this goes a lot deeper than just one or two things, right? This is truly, problem solvers get paid. You're connecting the dots and you're looking at every single possible solution. I'd go beat all the bushes to see what we could make happen.
Right on. So workwithjesse.net. Costs you nothing, right? I'm grateful that Jesse is willing to spend time with those that are interested. I know we're going to have a bunch of applications just given how many people were on here, the level of interest, all of the people watching it live as we're streaming it. And that's awesome. We're looking for, what the best way for Jesse to help more of the end consumer is to help all of you be able to help more of them, right? What better way to create more leverage and do more good in these different communities and by helping consumers in more markets, right? So James and Jesse, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
Again, to summarize, for those attending, we'll get a replay out as soon as possible. For those interested, go to workwithjesse.net. And then we'll also at some point be doing another live session or some kind of session where we'll dive into just the Q&A, right? We'll just kind of get right into for those that are interested and just curious and need some more, have to connect more of the dots before they want to schedule a call and dive deeper. We'll make sure that happens. Appreciate you guys. Excited to see the new people in the fold and the opportunities that are created through that process.
Awesome. Josh, thanks so much for having me on, man. I appreciate it very much. James, thanks for being here. And if you guys got questions for James too, right before we wrap up, drop it in or comment below on anything. Because James jumped in and said, what should I do? Who should I talk to? And bam, and he's killing it. We just talked about a deal he's going to do yesterday that is more than the average agent makes in a year from this deal. And it's putting together like 3 things. It's like a Rubik's Cube, and it's awesome. So I want to make sure, reach out to James as well for anything. He's a great dude and has really taken to it. So Josh, thanks for having us on, man. Appreciate it, dude.
Right on. Great stuff. Great stuff. Appreciate you guys, and talk soon.
All right. See you guys.